And we're back as we get ready to head into round 2. I would like to make a comment. You know, I know I'm making a lot of mistakes. I'm doing this as kind of a thing to help me improve. It kind of forces me to talk through and look through my plays for possible mistakes. It does put me under a bit more time pressure, so I'm a bit more likely to make mistakes, but at least if I catch them, then I can avoid them in the future. We win in the die roll. Anyway, so like I was saying, please, if you see mistakes, I would love it if you would make a note in the comments and tell me what I did wrong so I can not do it again. Greeting my opponent, and I will keep this hand. It doesn't do a ton. It's got Daring Skyjack into some 5 drops, but Daring Skyjack is a good sort of creature to trade with whatever they have early, so that I can get there a bit more easily. Alright, Orzhov Charm is very good. Alright, so basically Orzhov Charm only ever will kill a creature. I could return a creature I control, but I don't. The only 1-drop that I have is the Dutiful Throw, which I'm not really going to go out of my way to return from the graveyard. Wow, another white-black deck? That's kind of crazy. However, since my opponent has a slightly slow start, we can just start off dealing some damage. We could use Orzhov Charm to kill whatever he plays this turn if we want so as to keep going. Is it worth it to get the damage in? It really depends on if we draw a land. If we draw a land, we will want to have killed that this turn. If not, we will probably want to hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and kill it. I'm gonna kill it. It might be wrong. But we get to get in more damage. That card is kind of scary. Blind Obedience actually is a pretty good draw here. It means that we get damage in this turn, and we get damage in next turn. If he doesn't play a removal spell, we get to just get past his now tapped creature. So that drawing Blind Obedience helps me feel Daring Skyjack was a bit better, although it's kind of a fringe case. It's got some kind of maybe 2-drop. Syndic of Tides. Syndic is good. Okay, so he seems like he got a lot of the extort stuff that we were hoping to get. We're going to keep getting in. I would prefer to be getting a 4th land, but we'll get there eventually. Okay, so we lose our creature, but we draw some removal out of him. That's fine. I will go ahead and play the Gutter Skulk and extort. Alright, so we've got a bit of a lead. Not quite as good as if you wouldn't have had that removal spell, but so be it. Your opponent's going to have something eventually. And he's got a ton of extort engines. It's really scary because we really didn't see many, so we knew there were a bunch out there. Right. Orzhov Guildgate means that we will start playing more spells. If we can make him discard his last 2 cards with Purge the Profane, again, I'm quite happy. If not, Zorichi Tiger is actually not bad here. Again, it's good against a lot of extort cards because they have to pay mana to extort, and you can just pay mana to negate half of it. Plus a 2/3 against his 2/2s is not bad. We don't have much against his flyers. We might eventually have to Edict the Pet, but we will see. If he plays a card, I probably would have used Purge the Profane. However, I'm going to hold on to it. I may, especially now that we have Balustrade Spy, that is better than our other option. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this. He's got 3 cards in hand and a ton of mana, so he probably has removal. But sometimes you got to make him use it. Let's see what's in your deck. Okay, he's got a plane in his deck. I wish he had drawn that because he probably does not need more than 6. Actually, he may have the 7-drop. Either the black primordial or the white primordial. Okay, yeah. Like I thought, he had removal. That's okay. He's getting in damage. I'm probably going to start leaving the Gutter Skulk back unless I play the, I guess if I play the Tiger, I might not. Or if I play the Shade. I think I'd rather play the Tiger, though. It's a better use of my mana, and it still holds back his creature. The life gain on Purge the Profane, it makes him discard 2 and you gain 2 life. The life gain is pretty relevant here. Purge the Profane seems to be undervalued by a lot of people, because not only does it help you stay alive against this sort of extorty grind, it also really helps in a race against a more aggressive deck. It buys you a little bit more time. Okay, so this is really bad. He's got, what, 2... He's got 5 power and flyers, so I have to kill a flyer and be able to block or kill the other. That's pretty unlikely. Okay. I could Beckon Apparition, use it to block the Syndic of Tithes, gain life off the Zorichi Tiger to stay alive, to counteract that. However, I mean, that's not going anywhere. I don't really have an out. So I'll tell my opponent, good game. This is an 8-4. If we can manage to win this round, we get to win a bunch of packs. Otherwise, I think that Totally Lost is actually better here. Totally Lost is particularly good because it hits his the guy holding his charm. Or sorry, the guy holding his Gift of Orzhova. So that is good. We do have a lot of removal. Is there anything that we don't want? Aerial Maneuver is good. It lets us block all those flyers. Beckon Apparition is not great. I'm going to drop Beckon Apparition for another Totally Lost, which means I'll want to drop Plains for another Island. And then I'll submit this. Again, since he's drawing on enchantments, it might be better to have Totally Lost. But we will see. We've got Daring Skyjack and Gutter Skulk and Orzhov Charm. We don't have more than 2 lands, but, you know, we've got a lot to do early, even if we don't draw them right away. And this is a pretty aggressive hand. Okay. Drawing 5 drops is not exactly what we'd like, but we will start playing threats. I think Syndic's actually about as good as Daring Skyjack, so I'm going to go ahead and offer the trade. Alright, we drew a land. That is awesome. That sounds good to me. Thank you, friend. I will not pay life, but I will get the Gutter Skulk out. Oh, Devour Flesh is a very good draw there. It's a good way to kill Kingpin's Pet without having to take damage or waste a targeted removal spell. Alright, so me waiting until he played that meant that he got the Extort trigger. However, I wanted to see what he was playing in case I wanted to save my mana to Orthodox Charm or something. Alright, so we've got Balustrade Spy up. I'm going to go ahead and offer this trade for Gutter Skulk. While Balustrade Spy can block Kingpin's Pet, I don't want him to have the decision on whether or not to trade, you know, knowing what I've played. Plus, you know, if he has removal, I would much rather his Kingpin's Pet be off the board. You always have to hope that, oh wow, another Kingpin's Pet. This guy's serious. You always have to hope that, like, every single one of their lands is on the bottom of their deck, so that would mill, like, you know, 15 or something, but obviously that's pretty much never going to happen. Alright, so he's extorting. Alright, we actually have a Kingpin's Pet. We get to remind the guy, oh yeah, we are playing the same deck as you, or the same guild. Do I want to get in with the Spy? No, I think I'd rather hold both of his creatures off with my wand. He could also double block, and I'm not sure I'm willing to trade the Balustrade Spy for one of his guys. Alright, got my Kingpin's Pet out. That'll help us keep the Extort battles in the air more okay. It also makes me more tempted to attack with everything. Especially with Orzhov's Charm back up in case he's got some kind of trick. That is looking better. I guess attacking with a Spy wasn't as bad because I had Orzhov's Charm to kill one of them if he double blocked. You know, kill the pet so I got Basilicus creature for free. However, you know, I would much rather develop my board. Prism is really good with Extort because it lets you, you know, draw another card to Extort with. So his Extort is actually racing my attacks. It's kind of unfortunate, but oh well. It's okay, we are getting up to some good stuff here. Yeah, I will go ahead and keep this guy back just to keep blocking. Especially since I would take damage off of Orzhov's Charm, I would rather keep developing my board. It's very unlikely that he has any sort of kill all of my creatures wrath effect. So I'm gonna just keep playing creatures, keeping ahead in the race. Not the race, but like keep ahead on the board is what I meant to say. Obviously, if we draw a fifth land that is not a guild gate, we start to get a lot more options. I do like that I've managed to hold on to my removal this long. Short of Devour Flesh, which is better early anyway. So I'm pleased with that. Obviously, it'd be okay to just draw a Gideon, but I am more than happy to draw a land for my removal. I don't mind attacking into that. If he sacrifices another creature for it, then that's pretty good for me since I get to just Orzhov's Charm to kill it. So I will have gotten 2 creatures for 1 card. I'll go ahead and attack with all these because unless I have to Orzhov's Charm, I'm not going to use my Tiger. This is okay. Is it worth edicting or pulpiting? I think I'm going to go ahead and pulpit now. because he doesn't really have good attacks. If he played something huge, I might want to have the option of edicting. Plus, it's better to get this out now so I can use it later. Kind of if you can get a slow card online early, you'll get more benefit out of it than just using a comparably fast card once. This kind of leaves me both options instead of just one. It does mean that his creature may get an extort trigger this turn, but I've stemmed the bleeding from extort a bit. I've got my Tiger to counteract some of the extort triggers. Alright, Night Watch is okay, but it's not it's not all that bad. 2/2s are not as good now that I've got a couple of 2/3s on the board. Alright, so drawing the land means that we get to Angelic Edict if we want, in addition to pulpiting. So that's nice. I will, I think, go ahead and start getting in with the Spy now that my opponent has less flying blockers. I'm pretty sure he's just not going to block that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm probably going to use the Orzhov Charm. That'll let me keep gaining life, and Debtor's Pulpit will let me tap down his guys if he gets the Gift of Orzhova. So I think that that's a little bit better for me. I'm probably willing to trade a Gutter Skulk for one of his knights. But we will see. Treasury Thrall is a problem, but we've got 2 ways to get rid of it right now, so that's fine. I'm going to use Debtor's Pulpit to tap one of his potential attackers, which means that he can only attack with enough to have my Tiger able to block. Go ahead and gain some life. Alright. If he got to attack, that would be really good for him. So either I'm going to decide to lock it down with Debtor's Pulpit, or I should Edict. Is there anything I would want to save an Edict for? Well, probably nothing that Pulpit wouldn't do as well. So I'm going to go ahead and use my expensive removal spell on the Treasury Thrall. Again, I've got Debtor's Pulpit back as backup as a emergency thing. I forget that that guy has Extort because he's big and has like other effects. Treasury Thrall is interesting. I haven't gotten much use out of him. I had him in the pre-release. I had 2 of them actually, but basically my games were almost always over by then, so I didn't really get a good feel. Alright, so he's getting rid of the Spy. That's fine. I could, if I had mana, I could aerial maneuver it just to make him take an extra damage, but that's silly and not necessary. Alright, so he's gotten some kind of parity on the board. He's kind of stabilized a bit more now that I don't have a flyer to hit him with. But we're not particularly behind either. Okay, so we've got the ability to block. We're going to use Debtor's Pulpit to tap down his Nav Squad Commandos. I will go ahead and play the Swamp. He could have discard cards But so few people play them that I'm not really worrying about that. He's down to 2 cards in hand. Let's see what he's got. That's unfortunate. I'll gain some life. I will probably trade my aerial maneuver for one of the knights if I need to. Right. Yeah, that's probably what's about to go down. He could potentially have Orzhov's Charm specifically, or what's it called? Devour Flesh, to blow me out when I play my combat trick. But you know, sometimes you play into a card, but that's fine. Again, I don't like playing a combat trick to trade with what's essentially half of one of his spells. But then again, we turn around and have the same thing right back. So that's cool. If we had a card in hand, we would be representing having a combat trick or kill spell, but obviously we don't have that. If I do draw a lane, I'm going to hold on to it just so my opponent has to play around it. There's no reason for me not to tap that. Maybe I should have tapped the Corpse Blockade. Regardless, I can, if I wanted, tap down his Corpse Blockade now and start getting in for damage. I'm going to do that just because I drew a Dutiful Thrall, which can start blocking. Also, my Knights have Vigilance, I guess. But Dutiful Thrall blocks Nav Squad Commandos, which is what matters right here. Alright, the last couple turns have been pretty good for us, so we've maybe pulled ahead slightly. He'll trade a knight for a knight. I'm great with that. And alright, so worst comes to worst, we'll go back to just tapping down the Nav Squad Commandos. But they're right now I can't tap down enough to be able to get in since he has the Commandos, so I'm just going to keep passing the turn. Again, it's kind of stabilized. Our Debtor's Pulpit is worth about what his Commandos are. However, I have more than twice as much life as him, so that's something at least. In the meantime, however, we are on top deck wars. Okay, he died an Extort card. That's really bad for the, you know, race, the amount of life total we've got. Okay, totally lost will be good eventually. In the meantime, I could tap down his Corpse Blockade and attack with 2 2/2s. They can block one and trade a Gutter Skulk for a Gutter Skulk, and I don't really get anywhere. I would also, you know, any island or the Prophetic Prism would be good for me. Dutiful Thrall means that he's got his defenses online pretty hardcore. To get in, I'm kind of going to need a flyer or like Gideon. Gideon would be great right now since he's got so many creatures on board. It's one nice thing about him not seeing it in the first game is he's been playing a ton of small creatures out. Not really concerned with a Gideon. Okay, he's just drawing a spell every turn. That's unfortunate for us when we keep drawing with lands. Alright, he also has a dagger. Yeah, this is getting a bit dicey just because he's got so many creatures he's going to be able to start attacking through us soon, even with really, really bad creatures. He's got... there's basically no way I'm attacking this turn, so I don't need to worry about tapping now, I think. Alright, so we have a flyer. That's really good. Also, having something to go against his extort is good. Man, he just always has something. He's gonna have a... Okay, so he did play the... discard spell. I should have waited. He could have Gift of Orzhova, but I was kind of assuming he wouldn't, which is not how we want to be playing. Oh, oops, I have to actually click them to discard them. That's not the worst. Totally Lost is okay, but it's essentially a 1-for-1 because I wasn't going to use that lane for anything. Alright, Killing Glare is what we are talking about. It gives us an out to an emergency situation, it lets us extort off it, and there's always the possibility that we could eventually use it to kill a blocker to get in for damage. Could also use it to kill the Tiger, but I feel like it can't be right to waste it on the Tiger. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Again, every begin combat phase I need to remember to Debtor's Pulpit. Because otherwise I feel like he will come in with Tiger Thrall commandos or Stroke commandos or whatever. There's something on the big side. Angelic Edict. I'm going to go ahead and use Edict now to get rid of the commandos. If we're losing the pulpit, we need a way to be able to kill it. I'm tapping with extra mana just in case he has a combat trick like the one that gives flying and +1/+1. Obviously, one would not have gotten it since I used 5, but I figure there's absolutely nothing I could use the mana for that I would be willing to, so that 1 extra mana is fine. Gonna keep attacking with our 1/1. He can outrace the damage with his Tiger, of course, but that's fine. It keeps things closer to parity. Thankfully, my opponent has also gotten a decent number of lands. Okay, so since he's got so many defenders, otherwise it's really not good here. I'm glad I took it out. Not sure if there's anything that would be better to bring in, but we'll have a look after this game if we win it. If we lose the game, then I'll go on and play something different probably. Gonna hold on to the Devour Flesh. Again, it's pretty bad at this point in the game. I can use it for an extort trigger, but my opponent has plenty of essentially do-nothing creatures right now. If I use it, he'd probably sacrifice the Gutter Skulk, I think, but I'm not positive. Okay, my opponent is 3 cards closer to decking than I am. we have 13 cards, of which one of them is Gideon, which would pretty close to win the game. However, I have no defense against Gift of Orzhova, so that's unfortunate. Alright. He may have some kind of trick. However, I'm pretty okay with starting to trade off some more of his creatures. Yeah, he definitely has some kind of something, because otherwise he wouldn't be attacking with his tiger, he'd be using it to gain life. Yeah, now my Devoured Flesh is worth a lot more. Dutiful Thrall is not his best card by any means, but it's better than his rat was, I think. Alright. Makes it a little unfortunate that he traded those off, because now we've got Gideon and we benefit from him having extra creatures, but that's fine. Alright, so Gideon is good. Let's go ahead and get some attacks in with our bat. Actually, the only thing I'm scared of here is Gift of Orzhova. If he plays Gift of Orzhova, his tiger goes up to a 3/3. He could almost take out Gideon. Otherwise, he'd start dealing knee damage. I'm actually going to not do that one extra damage. That is pretty minor, whereas there's not a terrible chance that he'll just draw his Gift of the Orzhova this turn. Okay, so he had his own Devoured Flesh. At least we gain life equals toughness. Obviously the rat is our worst card right now, because the Thrall can block all day. Gideon is going to grow very, very quickly. Wait, did I forget to +1 it? I'm dumb. I'm so dumb. If I lose this game because I forgot to +1 Gideon, I will deserve to have lost it. I'm getting pretty low on time, so I need to start playing pretty quickly. He's going to kill one of my blockers. I will... They're both going at me. Alright. I'm going to not devour flesh right now, I don't think. I'm going to not devour flesh in part because that means that Gideon gets more counters. In part, we do just need to survive until he decks himself. Gift of the Orzhova is, of course, a scary thing. He's going to be able to get in for 1 damage a turn this way. Perks the Profane, gives us a little bit of life, and it gets rid of those 2 scary cards he was holding. Let's see what they were. Smite and Plains. 9/9 or go for the Exile. Exile would be after 2 more turns. Just go ahead and start attacking. Smite honestly wasn't ever going to do anything because Gideon is indestructible and I'm not likely to attack with any other creatures. So I'm using fine, seeing Planeswalkers tapped. Okay, he's saving his blockers. Yeah, he's saving Dutiful Thrall, so I may as well keep plussing. Which means maybe I should have done that last turn. I'm actually just going to hold on to this and not ultimate. He probably doesn't have an answer to it. And this way I could just ultimate after he Gift of Orzovas and mill him out. Again, I'm really concerned about time here. That's not enough life. Again, I'm worrying about the clock, so I'm not even going to bother blocking. I'm just going to start F6ing. I could regenerate Dutiful Thrall, but I'm not concerned about that right now. Again, just going to F6. I'm going to be ready to remove auto yields in case he's got something. He's got 2 cards in hand, 5 cards on his deck. Somewhere there is a Gift of the Orzova. I'm going to Devour Flesh him. Again, probably unnecessary. Especially before, yeah, okay, I'm just playing this badly out of haste, so I'm going to keep just passing my turn. So he's got 5 cards in hand, sorry, not, maybe he's going to try and do enough to kill me all in one turn. Maybe he's got a Primordial? Yeah, he does. That's cool. Whew. Okay, he tried to mill me out. That was actually a pretty good play on his part. But now Gideon's going to blow up the world. I don't really get to ultimate Planeswalkers very often, so that's cool. My opponent's definitely trying to play so that I run out of time. At least I get to one with only a Gideon on the field. That's a pretty sweet thing. Okay, so I don't have time to win a slow way. Do I have anything that's extra aggressive? He has a lot of flyers. If I equip a flyer with Skyblind or Staff, it's actually not bad. It lets me start getting in for damage. Totally Lost is slow. Leyline Phantom is big. Beacon Apparition can sneak in damage sometimes. Is there something slow that I'm willing to remove for? No. Let's just do this. Whatever. Let's see. If I draw a Swamp, this hand is not too bad. Oh, we got our Swamp. Alright, let's go ahead and Prism to draw a card. Oops, I messed up my sort trigger. And I will call that person back in 3 minutes or so. This race is bad for me, but I don't have much option right now. Okay, I've got actually quite a bit of removal in hand. If he only saves back one blocker, I may be able to tap it down or exile it and get through with the Phantom. Okay, so okay, if I draw a land next turn, I can devour flesh. No, I don't have quite enough because I have to use a land for Debtor's Pulp. Unfortunately, used. I've got. Okay. Again, Phantom is probably my best path to victory, because everything else is too slow. It will bounce back every time I deal him damage with it, but, you know, that's all I got. Yeah, not too surprised that he's got some kind of removal. I do like that he chose to take damage. So at least it's a removal spell where I gain something that way. Get Blind Obedience out. Play Leyland Phantom, use my Debtor's Pulpit land to extort. Got him down to 5 now, he's within potentially lethal range. Blind Obedience is actually really good because it means he doesn't get a blocker. Alright, so we won the round. That was lucky. And he made fun of us for being a lucky newbie. Cool.